That's basically $500,000. What did you do?
Pretty please come back.
Ma'am?
But I have two people in mind. They're looking like was grossing $50 million. What's up, Team Jazzy? It's your girl, Jazzy Eats, and I am back with another mukbang. So today's true crime is about Brittany Murphy. She was an actress, and her funeral was on the same day as her favorite holiday. For today's mukbang, I have some curry shrimp prawns. Curry prawns. I have some jasmine rice and some cucumbers. Y'all, I already tasted a little bit when I was making the prawns, and they are so good. Y'all know I had to look out, and I made sure I recorded the recipe. It is in my shorts video. So if you haven't already, check that video out if you want the recipe to the shrimp. I'm gonna pray so we can get into this true crime. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for the food that I'm about to receive. I ask that it may be nourishment to my body. I ask that you bless the hands that prepared it and bless my entire team, Jazzy. Amen. So I told y'all I was putting my wig back on. I need more time. Okay. Y'all, curry is so good. I got onion, garlic, tomatoes. And I kept the shell on there, but y'all don't have to if y'all don't want to. You could like literally peel the shell before you cook it. But I can cook it better with the shell on. And what is rice without the curry juice? Yummy. Wow, this is good. So today's true crime is about Brittany Murphy, who was an actress in LA, but she was born in Atlanta. Her mother's name was Sharon Murphy, and her father's name Angelo Berti Lotti. And he was a mobster. He was Italian. He was a mobster and back and forth to prison because of drugs. Cucumber. This is a hit. By the time Brittany was 2 years old, her father had divorced her mother. And Sharon, her mother's name was Sharon. Sharon got Brittany in acting, singing, and dance. By the time she was 4, she was training in all 3 of them. That's a lot. That's a lot for a 4-year-old. But her mother saw so much potential in Brittany and decided to push that potential. And by the time Brittany was 12 years old, they packed up and moved from Atlanta to Los Angeles. Ooh, this look good. So once they got to Los Angeles, they got settled in and did a couple auditions. Brittany's mother, Sharon, was right. She was very talented, and she started to land a lot of TV shows. She was in Boy Meets World. She was in Sister Sister. She was in Clueless. And that was her big break. Clueless was her big break. All of this stuff was giving me nostalgia. I was like, oh my God. You know, these are my favorite true crimes because you feel like you grew up with them. This teenager was grossing $50 million. You know, that I'm not even shocked. She deserved it. Like, she landed so many jobs and she was very good. She was a very good actress. So she ended up on a movie called Just Married. And all of these movies that she played in, I remember watching them. Like, they were like, I remember really liking these movies. And it makes me think, like, I was really a hopeless romantic. Oh my God. So anyways, she was in a movie called Just Married. It was about her and Ashton Kutcher. And she ended up really engaged to him. Like, they fell in love with each other during filming. Isn't that so cute? So they were in love with each other. And they ended up breaking up. You know, they realized that in real life, they were incompatible. And so, shortly after they broke up, she was engaged to a production assistant. And shortly after that, they called off the wedding. Then, shortly after that, she was engaged to another man, her talent manager. They also called off the wedding. And this was like in 2006. And in 2007, she ended up meeting a guy named Simon Monjack. And she fell in love with him and they decided to get married. This was May of 2007. And their wedding was very private and it was Jewish. He was a British screenwriter. Now, remind you, all of this was in a span of 4 years. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's exhausting. That is an exhausting dating life. So, normally when you get a new boyfriend, you're not as active as you used to be. Y'all be eating a lot all the time. Y'all laying down watching movies, cuddling. So you put on your happy weight. It's called happy weight. I'm happy, so now I'm gaining weight. That was the opposite for Brittany. She actually started to lose a lot of weight. And they noticed when she went to some premiere, she was very, very skinny. And so close friends started to get concerned. And once they found more out about her husband, Simon, then they were really concerned because they didn't match. Brittany was a sweet girl and great actress and even to the world, we actually saw her grow up. So we still kind of see her as the little girl from Clueless. That was literally Clueless. And so to be with somebody who is facing so many charges, nobody knows how long you've been in this industry. You're facing credit card fraud. You've had 4 eviction notices. He had a lawsuit with the bank. The bank was suing him for $470,000. That's basically $500,000. What did you do? And then right before they got married, he was facing deportation. So if they would have never gotten married, he would have gotten deported. So, family and friends, they're looking like, because of her weight loss and because of what we know by him, this is looking really unhealthy and forced. Forced, not that he put a gun to her head, but the fact that she wanted love so bad. She was exhausted of all the failed dating ships she was in. And so it was like when you finally meet somebody and it looks like, okay, this is it, because I'm tired of doing this with everybody, you kind of let things slide and, you're not really sharp with your intelligence. And when your heart is in the way and your desperateness comes out. So friends would try to talk to her and she would politely dismiss them. And friends would also ask her about her weight. And, you're changing your hair to blonde and you're half the body weight that you were the last time I saw you. And she would just be like, well, I was told that in order to be a leading lady, I need to be slender. That's all. So everybody's like, okay, and then another friend said, well, Brittany had a lot of self-image issues. Somebody else said, so did her mother. Her mother also had self-image issues. So let's zoom in on her mother for a minute, because just imagine if I sell everything that I have, literally give up my whole world to move to Los Angeles because of my daughter's talents in exchange for an abundance of luxury. I'm going to make sure she has everything required to get us there and more, including looks. And so it hasn't been said for sure, but I'm just thinking, I'm assuming that her mother picked that the way she looked, not in a mean way, but wanted to make sure her daughter went as far as possible in her career. And as a child, that kind of sticks with them even as an adult. And so here I am, an adult. I found love. my career is amazing, but that's not good enough. I'm never going to be good enough for myself because I was always picked at with my weight all the time. I need to look more slender. And she never said who was the one that told her she needed to look slender. But I have two people in mind. So just imagine the pressure on you that you have a slowly dying career. You are struggling with, you have a poor self-image of yourself, and you have an unsupportive marriage. The only loved one that likes your husband is your mom. That has to suck. Even the jobs that she was picking up, she was getting fired from them. She got fired from a Disney project, and they had said because we have creative differences. When she was on set with other projects, she was going in and out of consciousness, and she was forgetting her lines and just not being her normal self, because I'm pretty sure that's not her normal self, or she wouldn't have gotten as far as she did. She did so many movies and television shows and even music, you guys. She was a part of a band. She did the voiceover for Happy Feet. She even sung a couple songs on animations albums, and she had a very beautiful voice. And so this new Britney, this new married skinny Britney, was just not herself. Pharmacy company banned her and her husband from coming to get prescriptions anymore because they realized that they were having different doctors write them a prescription for the same drugs, for the same pain medicine. And it's just like, why are you guys trying to have so many pain pills? And so the pharmacy was like, no more, y'all not allowed to come back. So unfortunately, on December 20th, 2009, 911 operators get this phone call.
Emergency? 1895 Rising Glen Road.
What's the phone number you're calling from? Tell me exactly what happened.
Somebody's passed out.
Somebody what?
My daughter's passed out. We're doing mouth to mouth. Please get your friend,
Okay.
please.
Okay. All right, we're going to. How old is your daughter?
She's 30. Please,
She's 30.
Her mouth.
Can you feel or hear any breathing?
I can feel her hear any breathing.
Can you feel or hear any breathing? Yes or no, ma'am? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Just a minute, please.
It just takes a second. Can you feel or hear any breathing?
Can you hear anything, Simon?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? No.
Okay. All right. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do compressions, okay?
Brittany, please come back.
Ma'am?
Her mother, Sharon, who had lived with them, had found Britney in the shower unresponsive. She already had pneumonia, and pneumonia mixed with the prescription medicine that she was taking is what was the cause of death. And her funeral was on her favorite holiday, which is Christmas Eve. And so her father, the one that I told you was in and out of prison, divorced her mother when she was 2, her father didn't believe the pneumonia story. He was like, no, my daughter was healthy and I want to know what happened. But he didn't have a lot of pull because he wasn't on a death certificate. And so he had to go through hoops and loops and everything goes. He went through a hard time trying to prove that he is her father. And so he was able to get them to test her hair. And the results came back. There was rat poison in her bloodstream. And so it's the same chemical that could be in dyes. And so they said, well, she dyed her hair a lot because she was a blonde. She dyed her hair blonde a lot. And that's, her natural color was like dark brown or something. And so he's like, no, my daughter has been poisoned. He said, there's a reason why, I had that feeling. Then we go to test it and there's rat poison in her system. I'm not going to say, oh, you know, and then some people were saying it was mold. Maybe it was mold in the house. And he's like, no, somebody poisoned my daughter. And the mother, Sharon is upset about this because she's like, you were not present this whole time. You didn't care about us. And now that she's gone, you want to act like you're like this hero. You're trying to see somebody kill her. And so she's like, don't smear her name like that. Don't mess up her memory. She had a great life and she died of pneumonia, unfortunately. Leave us alone. And so Sharon and Simon came together because I'm guessing they still lived in the same house with each other, but they came together and they started a charity for Brittany, but they failed to fill out the application the right way, I guess. But they didn't catch on to it until after they had gotten all this money. So they had to return everybody's money. So then after that, Sharon and Simon came out with a documentary called What Really Happened to Brittany. And everybody watched it and they were not pleased. Brittany's loved ones, Brittany's friends, all of the actresses and actors that knew Brittany. One of Brittany's close friends gave a review on the movie and said 20% of it was about Brittany's career, 30% of it was about Brittany's death, and 50% of it was about Simon. That's unfair. So it ended up being a bust. And in May, 5 months after Brittany died, Simon died as well. His autopsy report was rat poison, the same thing that Brittany died from. And so now, of course, everybody is saying it was probably mold. Some people were saying, no, he killed her and then he killed himself when that documentary, he thought he was going to get some money off of the documentary. And then some people were saying it was the mother. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. Post notification goes to... Thank you so much for having your post notifications on. Shout out to you for being the first to comment on the last video. If you would like a shout out, all you have to do is be the first to comment on the next video. If you would like to see more true crime videos, then click right here. If you would like to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss another video, click right here. I love you and I will see you guys in the next mukbang.